Hi, I'm Kevin. Today I'd like to show you how to make Japanese milk bread rolls. I made 2 batches of the rolls yesterday, and this is all that remains. The rolls, let me take one out here, are uber delicious. They're light as air, they're soft, they're fluffy. Look at this. Again, absolutely delicious. And what makes the rolls light and fluffy is a cooked starter called TangZhong. I hope I'm saying that right. TangZhong. Anyway, TangZhong and the rolls are really easy to make. So let's get started. To make the TangZhong, you'll need a small saucepan. This one holds, I think, 2 quarts. And to the pan, we're going to add 3 tablespoons of plain water and 3 tablespoons of whole milk and 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. I know some recipes say to use bread flour, but I've always used all-purpose flour and the rolls turn out just great. And then we're going to whisk all of this together just to remove any lumps. I hope you like the sound of metal on metal. And then we're going to heat this over a medium-low flame. And we're going to keep whisking until the TangZhong turns thick. This will take 3 to 5 minutes. So I'll turn off the camera and come back when it's ready. Well, that didn't take long at all. So as you can see, this has turned very thick. And then we're going to turn off the heat and we're going to cool this off by adding a ½ cup of whole milk. Whisk that in. And then we're going to add 1 egg. That's 1 large egg. Whisk, whisk, whisk. Also, we need 4 tablespoons of melted butter. And I just melted this in the microwave. This is unsalted butter. Stir this really well. And finally, we're going to add the yeast. I'm going to make sure this is not too hot. No, it's perfect. That cold milk really brought the TangZhong to the proper temperature. This is 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast. It's the equivalent of one of those little packets of yeast. I'm going to stir that in, whisk it in. And by the way, if you use a lot of yeast, you'll save money if you buy your yeast in a jar like this instead of those little packets. And this is active dry yeast. And that's it. Our TangZhong is ready. The dough comes together really easily. So grab a medium-sized bowl, and to the bowl add 2 1/2 cups of all-purpose flour, or again, you could use bread flour. Also add 2 tablespoons of instant non-fat dry milk. I'm not sure what the non-fat dry milk does for the rolls. I think it has something to do with their ability to brown or their longevity or something like that. And we need 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm using just regular table salt. And a 1/4 cup of granulated sugar. And just mix this together with a blue spoon. And then we can add the TangZhong. In you go. Put this away. Then we're going to stir this just to combine everything. And then we're going to knead it. Yeah, because of the TangZhong, the rolls tend to have what is known in the trade as a long shelf life. In other words, they stay fresh for quite a while. How long, I honestly can't tell you because they don't last that long around here. And in truth, every time I've turned the camera off today, I've taken another bite of one of the Japanese milk bread rolls. So delicious. Okay, we're getting there. So we have kind of a shaggy dough now. So we can ditch the spoon, scrape off this dough here, and then I'm going to lightly, and I mean very lightly, flour the board. And you can do this in a mixer. I made one batch of the milk rolls using my KitchenAid stand mixer, and it worked fine, but I noticed that for the second batch, which I made just by hand kneading, sorry, my board is rocking around here. The hand kneaded rolls were actually better. They had a better texture. I'm not sure why. So, and when you knead, you fold the dough over on itself, and then you push it out, turn the dough, fold again, and you keep turning, folding, pushing it out. And this will only require maybe 5 minutes of kneading. What we're aiming for is a smooth, elastic dough. So I will continue kneading and then come right back to you. Turn, push, fold. And that's it. And my dough is almost ready. It's lost a lot of its stickiness. So now we can form it into a ball. And then I'm going to put it back. I washed out the bowl. So we're going to grease the bowl. You could use butter, you could use shortening. I'm using a little bit of this stuff, you know what it is. And then throw the dough in, flip it over so the other side is greased. And then we're going to cover this with a towel. See what my towel says? Eat up, bitches. Maybe that should be the name of my YouTube channel. And then this goes into a warm location until the dough puffs up and doubles in volume. And that will take about 90 minutes to 2 hours. If your house is cold like mine, you can put this on a heating pad. I'm going to put this in my proofing oven, which is heated to 100 degrees. So I'll come back when the dough has doubled in volume. All right, our bread has pretty much doubled in volume. So what we do is gently deflate it. And then going to throw it on the board. I'm going to knead it just a couple of times. Oh yeah, it's a really soft dough. It feels really good. It's really easy to work with. Okay, now we're going to form a ball, and then take our handy bench scraper, and we need to cut this in half. And I'm going to be making 8 rolls. So we want to cut each half in half. And then into eighths. Yeah, I hope you have one of these bench scrapers. They're really useful. Okay, now it's time to form the rolls. So if you've never made rolls before, what you do is, let's say this is the top. You want to turn it upside down, and we're going to pat it out and then draw up the corners towards the center. Hope you can see all right. And this will give us a smooth top. We go like this to form a ball or a globe. And then, this is really important, to turn this into a perfect sphere, holding your thumb against the board, you roll the roll around on the board like this. So you're just putting a bit of pressure on the top of the roll. Here we go. Perfect. And then I have a greased 9-inch cake pan. I was going to say pie plate, but this is a 9-inch cake pan. And going to put all of the rolls in here. So we pat it out. I'll just show you one more. And then, let's see, put your thumb in the center and then roll. Actually, you don't have to have your thumb in the center. You just want to pull the corners over and then turn it right side up and roll. And you do not want to do this on a floured surface. Otherwise, the roll will just, well, slide around. It won't turn into a sphere. And I'm going to do one more for you. And roll. Yeah, after you've done several of these, you'll become really good at bread roll making. I'll finish these off and then show you the finished product. Okay, last one. Pat it out. Bring all the corners towards the center to create a ball. Flip over. Roll. What this does is creates tension on the surface of the roll so that you have a smooth top. There we go. And then we're going to cover this again. Eat up, bitches. And this, here, let me fix the camera. Put this on a heating pad or in your proofing oven, or if your house is already like 72 degrees, you can just leave it covered on the counter for 40 to 50 minutes until the rolls have doubled in volume. Then we can bake them off. I'll be back. Well, that didn't take long at all. These were in the proofing oven for only 30 minutes and already they filled up the pan. So let me fix the camera and so I can show you the next step. Zoom in a little bit. Okay, so what I'm going to do is brush these rolls with an egg wash. And this is just one egg beaten with a tiny amount of water, about a teaspoon of water. And what the egg wash will do is encourage the rolls to brown beautifully. And you want to brush gently so you don't deflate the rolls. Here we go, almost finished. And then you do not have to do this next step. But if you'd like your rolls to be particularly decorative, take some sesame seeds and sprinkle them over the top. Just a pinch for each roll. I know some people like to use cornstarch on top of the rolls because that gives them, well, it kind of looks like snowflakes. But sesame seeds are great and they are traditional. Now I'm going to put these in a 350-degree oven for 25 minutes or until the rolls are nicely browned and done. And here they are, Japanese milk bread rolls. And they rose even higher while they were in the oven. As you can see, they're very bronze and very beautiful. Yeah, these are what you would call pull-apart rolls. Look at that. Light, very, very soft and fluffy. Oh, and delicious. Let's crack one open. And they're moist too, so you don't even need butter. So do yourself a favor and make a batch of these beautiful, beautiful rolls. Again, they're really easy to make and they're absolutely delicious to eat. If you'd like to see more recipes from me, be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel and also be sure to click the little bell icon so you can receive notifications every time I upload something new. I'll see you very soon with another delicious recipe. Bye for now.